Hey everybody, it's Crystal D. Smith here. Thanks for tuning in once again, and today I'm going to do a video on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and some tips that have absolutely really helped me in the game. Now, as many of you know, I am a hardcore gamer, so when some of you reach out to me and ask me to do gaming videos, I was super thrilled, so this is the first of many. Now, as far as the Assassin's Creed series goes, I wasn't the biggest fan in the beginning or even in the middle. I really started to like it with Origins, and Odyssey is my favorite so far, but if you don't like RPG style games, it's definitely not for you. I don't want to say too much in any of these tips because I don't want to spoil the game for anybody, but Assassin's Creed Odyssey has three main storylines, or Odysseys, and you'll find that out as you start to play. I have completed one of the three. My best guess is that it takes in the ballpark of somewhere to 100 to 140 hours to complete all three and get high completion or total completion in the game. Not 100% certain, but here are some tips that I figured out a little later than I wished I had that really helped me with the game. The first one is resources. It gets really important as you get up into the higher levels for you to want to upgrade your equipment and engrave it. So one of the ways that I found that I could really get a lot of resources and hoard them was spamming the loot button. So I tend to ride Phobos everywhere I go, and whether you're following the road or taking shortcuts, keep spamming that loot button and you would be surprised how much you've picked up. I picked up several thousand extra pieces of each resource by doing this. I also constantly broke down all of the gear that either wasn't legendary or that was beneath my level. A lot of people like to sell epic gear. I like to break it down because you'll get a lot more precious gems and obsidian glass, and those become harder to get. So when you need a lot of them to upgrade your equipment, it's really helpful just to break it down. And then every time I'm in a territory, I loot the national purse. This is a large sum of drachmi that is protected by whatever faction is currently controlling that island. I am aware that doing that will weaken the territory. Whether you're aligning with that faction or not, you have to hit those national purses up because that's where a lot of drachmi can be found. And you can always go and incite a national battle and defend that territory, because defending is a lot easier than trying to take over a territory. So it's an opportunity for you to get some more epic gear as well. That brings me into my next segment, which is XP. It took me longer than I wanted to level up at the beginning of the game, but at first I was trying to bowl through the storyline and I realized that's not going to happen. If you really want to get experience points in the beginning of the game, do the things that I mentioned. Go at the national purse, kill some of the guards off, take down the leader, incite a national battle. Whether you decide to defend it or take it over, it doesn't really matter. If you keep doing that over and over and over, you'll get a lot of experience points. National battles tend to award around 40,000 experience points, which is really significant in the earlier stages of the game. So just keep spamming that and doing that over and over, and you'll get those experience points, and you'll get more epic gear. And speaking of gear, I really love the legendary gear in this game. I think it's absolutely great. Really pay attention to the gear sets. Right now I'm loving the gear of the Immortals, the Artemis gear, and my favorite currently is the Amazonian gear that is exclusive to Cassandra, but it's really, really good. I'm enjoying all the bonuses that I get, and the engravings are fantastic. Speaking of gear, some of the best pieces of equipment that I've got have actually been from exploring parts of the map that have nothing to do with the storylines. For example, Poseidon's Trident is a really great spear, and it allows me to breathe underwater, and that does really well because there's a ton of underwater exploration. It is based in Greece, so Greece is a bunch of islands, so obviously there's a lot of things that occur in the water. Speaking of the water, oh my god, the sharks. They're really hard, they're annoying, they're extremely aggressive, and they constantly come at you and attack you from behind. What I've found that makes it easier is to scout out the area with Icaros, mark the sharks, and then use the Andrecitas, use your ship to get above them and just take them out with arrows. Remember to dive down and loot them because shark teeth sell for a heck of a lot of money. Exploration is key in this game. When I first started playing it, I took it off exploration mode because I like having the markers to tell me where to go. I find that that's actually more counterintuitive to the game, not just because of how awesome the map is, but exploration is really, really, really important. If you don't explore, you can't get clues for the Cult of Cosmos. And the Cult of Cosmos ends up being a very significant part of the story, perhaps the most important part of the story. The game isn't going to give you any freebies on this, so you have to go out and explore and make things happen so that you can figure out who these people are and track them down. So exploring is really, really great. A great tip I have for you when it comes to the Cult of Cosmos is if you happen to discover one, I've unintentionally come across members, unless they're stronger than you, stop everything you're doing and take them out then and there. It's harder to go back and track them down later because some of them do move a lot, and it's just easier to get them out of the way then and there, and you'll also get more clues to discovering who the other cultists are. There's a lot of branch of cultists, so that is a great piece of advice that I can give you that I learned pretty early on. Similar to the mercenaries. Now, I don't know how you felt about the Phylakes in Origins, but they were annoying. They always showed up at the most inopportune moment and just completely thwarted me while I was in the middle of challenging combat. Multiply that by 50. There are 50 mercenaries in this game that could potentially come at you at any given time, and they always level up with you, just like the rest of everything does in Odyssey. So just like the Cult of Cosmos, when you discover a mercenary, unless they're stronger than you, go ahead and take them out then and there. You'll get more XP. A lot of them award some really cool gear, and I suspect that there's going to be some significant rewards as you get to the top of that mercenary chain. Don't make the mistake of just jumping into combat with them. They are all very, very different. They have very different strengths and weaknesses. You will need to strategically attack them. You may need to change your gear up and your weaponry up to do so. But as you start getting into the higher levels, some of them have really cool legendary gear that I rather enjoy. And again, those are some of the things that are really helping me out currently in Odyssey. I'm still in the process of playing it. I've had it since it came out. I'm really trying to explore and experiment, and I'm having a lot of fun with the game. It's great. So hopefully these tips have helped you, and if you have some additional tips that you would like to share with me and with everybody else, I would love to hear about them. So please leave them below in the comments, or if you have any open discussion that you'd like to have in regards to Odyssey or any other video game with all my fellow gamer friends, please leave that in the comments as well. And as always, remember to like and subscribe so that you can continue to get more videos. And as usual, if there's anything that you'd like me to cover in specific, feel free to let me know, or send me some links to some gaming videos that you would like me to check out, or if any of you have channels, send them to me. I'll check them out. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't played it yet, go out, get yourself Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's a fantastic game. Go Sparta!